So, I decided to start with y'all today because y'all are the newest sign that I've been doing. I'm very intrigued by the 13th zodiac. There's a lot of questions in the air about personality types, elements, and all that. I assume, by what I've read, that y'all are fire signs. However, it's still up in the air. So let's check in with your energy, see what's going on. And really see what you can expect heading towards you at this time. Man, it's a coffee day. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta amp up while I'm doing your reading. Baby steps. Taking action and following your intuition before it makes sense. All right, so this is really telling you to not over intellectualize your intuition. If you feel drawn to do something, it's kind of like just do it. You know, in the same way that when a baby takes its first steps, it's not like it sits there and plans it. You know, it follows its natural intuition. So, since y'all are so abstract, I'm going to use one of my most abstract decks for you today. And let's see what your intuition is really guiding you towards. What actions you should be taking. Leaps of faith. Let's see it. Ah, all right. Okay. The Lovers. Whew. All right, so we're starting heavy. This is Gemini energy. However, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be dealing with a Gemini. This means, this talks about like union, right? If we think about what it means to the Gemini energy, Gemini is represented by the twins, right? And the Lovers card is the major arcana love card. So it really indicates that this is something that's like a divine counterparts, right? This is a real soul bond. If you see, there's angel wings above, and they're kind of like guiding this union. So you could be in a relationship or taking action towards one at this time. Let's see. Okay, take it and go. Alrighty. So, let's see. Bro. The card that fell out was the Muse of Emotions, right? And if you see, there's the twins here with water flowing out of their heart chakra. So you could be dealing with a Gemini. That's more Gemini energy. Although it's also more twin flame energy. You know what? I'm going to keep that card because it's floating. Page of Cups. Okay. Alright, so either you are considering like taking action towards a person, or somebody is considering taking action towards you. Two of Pentacles in reverse tells me that the decision has already been made. It's really about just doing the action. Four of Pentacles. I feel this energy like that you feel like you've built enough by yourself. You feel like, you've handled life by yourself, you've been abundant by yourself, and now you're really looking for somebody to share that with. Or it looks like you already have decided on who you want to share that with, right? It's really, this union energy is really coming in strong. So, what is some advice for you in regards to how to pursue this? If this is you, I feel like it's you kind of wanting to pursue it. It doesn't feel like you're waiting for somebody to pursue you. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we have the Chariot card, Cancer energy, right? The Chariot card is about moving forward with something, right? It's about, if you notice, she's the one pulling the horses, not the horses pulling her, right? And it's about taking initiative, right? And this is where I get the idea that it's definitely you wanting to take that initiative. Also, if we think about the energy of Cancer, right? This is very, I don't know if you've ever met a Cancer, but they're very warm and compassionate and very sweet and very in their emotions, right? They're very in touch with their emotions. They are very intuitive creatures. You can't get shit past a freaking Cancer, and I love that about them. We have the Knight of Cups. All right, very similar to the Page of Cups. This is all about taking action. It could be somebody taking action towards you, like I said. However, how I'm feeling it is it really feels like you're the one making the moves. You're the one taking action here. With the High Priestess in reverse, I'd say the only obstacle really is doubt. Right? With the High Priestess in reverse, that means that you're facing some doubts, or, which is normal. If you're going to pursue something like that, you're like, what if it doesn't happen? Well, guess what? You'd be in the same boat if it didn't happen. But I do feel a strong inclination that you should absolutely fuck around and find out, I just feel that you're really being called to do this. You feel very intuitively driven to do it. It's something that it definitely feels like can't eat, can't sleep, kind of in your head about this. Really weighing your options, like, will they accept me? Do they have a lot of suitors? That kind of stuff. And I really feel like any doubt, fear, or insecurity that you may be facing is something that in itself is a lesson that you need to overcome. You need to overcome that fear, doubt, and insecurity. And you have to not be afraid to pursue things that matter, right? If this is somebody who matters, don't be afraid. Confidence is attractive, right? So come in that energy of being very confident. Nine of Swords in reverse. It tells me that you're not, like, overwhelmed. You're not, like, having a lot of ruminating negative thoughts, although you probably have. And I feel like that's something that you're keeping in check, or trying to keep in check. Trying to stay, like, positive and, whatever. Six of Pentacles tells me that you really do want to share with somebody in this life, right? More twin energy, if you will, right? I'm feeling very strongly that this is a divine connection, that this is twin flames. And I'm feeling that the more that you relax and the more that you kind of allow the connection to take shape, the better, you know. Also, I think you should watch, okay, there's this guy on YouTube, goes by New World All-Star, and he talks about twin flame connections, and he talks about how to, you know, be in union with them, in physical union, because, I mean, the thing about twin flames is there's this quantum entanglement. You once were the same atom. So, in a split atom, you know, if you take an atom and you split it in two, then you can do experiments on one part of the atom and the other part will still respond no matter how far away they are from one another, because of quantum entanglement. They're always energetically one, even if on the physical plane they appear to be two. Kind of like I've been doing this little science experiment, right? I've been propagating plants, and basically you take a clipping off of one plant, you stick it in the water, and then if you see, it starts sprouting its own roots, right? Its own root system. And then, so basically we take one plant and turn it into two plants. It is still very much the plant that it came from, right? It's still very much that plant. They're still very connected. You know what's funny is when I've noticed, because I have the other plant here, let me show you. Here's the other guy, right? But what I've noticed about them is the leaves always point toward each other. Even if they're not even on the same, like, table. Like, one's in the window, one's on the table or the desk. And, and they still point towards each other, right? In the same way that sunflowers face towards the sun. Or the same way that, is it lilies or something? They face toward the moon. But there's this energetic connection. They're always going to be the same plant. Even if now they're getting a different atmosphere. One's in water, one's in soil, one's on a table, one's in the window. You know, like, they're experiencing different lives, right? Their environment is completely different. They're having a different experience, right? However, they're the same fucking plant. The same is true for twin flames, right? And that's why I like doing these science experiments, because I feel like it helps me to better understand the twin flame journey and how that really works. You're always connected. You're always going to feel when they need you, right? You're always going to feel when something's wrong with them. There's a depth in it, right? And there is that runner chaser thing, but really, I've noticed that, like, for me in my journey, that sometimes, sorry, my child is over there grunting, but I've noticed for me that you know, it doesn't matter what I do in life, I still feel very connected to another aspect of myself, another incarnation of myself. And physical union is kind of an illusion, you know, because you're still quantum entangled, right? You're still the same guy. And when you become pretty zen about this connection and you understand that you're always going to be with them on some level, you're always, you know, a part of them, they're always, you know, then you're not afraid of any time lapse or in the separation. You're not afraid of You're not afraid of the distance. You're not afraid to have different experiences, right? To lead a different life. Um, it is what it is. Also, I do feel very strongly, though, that you are really drawn to your twin flame at this time, and they could be manifesting you. They could be doing their own shadow work and stuff that something could be coming apart in their life. That could be also why you're feeling drawn to them. With the Tower in reverse, because this is very opposite of the energy I've been getting from you, right? But it's almost mirrored. It's like where things are coming together for you, something is falling apart for them, or vice versa. With the Tower, it's kind of like, this is what happens when we fall into alignment, right? Shit starts not working out with other connections. Things, like you might even feel triggered to move with the Chariot card. Something's definitely, and with the Six of Wands in reverse, if you feel like you've been under-acknowledged by them, or that they haven't recognized you, or they haven't, they're not awake to the connection, that could create some Tower moments. Tower moments are kind of great, though, because that really talks about how things, they break apart and they fall apart just to fall into place. It's not like things fall apart for no reason. There's never no reason for things to fall apart. And anything that's out of alignment needs to go. So, let's see. Muse of Voices. Also, the Muse of Swords, right? You may be feeling like you're facing some challenges yourself, or they may be feeling they're facing some challenges. I'm picking up on both energies right now, so it's hard to really tell. Seven of Pentacles. Somebody might be looking for a new job. Then we have Three of Cups. Somebody, I feel like you could be friends with them. This is somebody that I feel that you're friends with. I feel like you've waited. This is like kind of the energy of like waiting for harvest, right? Waiting for something to come to fruition. And it's like this energy of like waiting, and that in itself could be a challenge. That in itself can be very triggering. Feeling like they haven't shown up in a certain way for you. Tell me more. Also, I'm getting, maybe things haven't moved forward because there's like a fear of loss on one or both parts. We have the Queen of Cups, so this is somebody who's very in touch with their emotions, very intuitive. This is the Queen of Love, right? So there's definitely a lot of love coming from you at this time. I feel that there is a challenge, though, and it almost feels like in order to pursue this, like there's a fear of a tower, or a fear of There's a fear. Fear, fear, fear. Fear, doubt, insecurity. That's all the devil. So it's like standing in front of a bear. Okay? My friend gave me this analogy this morning, actually. So, say you're in the woods and you're faced with a bear. And naturally, your instinct will be to be afraid, to run, to react emotionally, you know, something of the sort. But really, the wisest thing you could do when faced with a bear is make yourself as large as possible, right? To be fearless, to not show any sign of challenging the bear, but also not showing any sign of this bear's allowed to eat me, right? You don't want to show up in that energy of fear. Fear will always... Fear is the root of destruction, right? If you're not afraid, you're more likely to succeed because you can respond rather than react. You can be wise, you know, really think about your actions and all that. So I catch this feeling that fear's been running the show for one or both of you, right? And as your twin flames, you often feel the same things. So one gets scared. Well, you guys are kind of more mirrored. So one gets scared, one has confidence, right? Runner chaser. Then the other gains confidence, and then the other one gets scared. And really, there's like this need to center and find the stillness, right? Let go of the outcome and understand that they're always you. They're always with you. There's no you without them. The Emperor in reverse with the Three of Swords. Yeah, if I'm speaking to the Divine Feminine right now, then what I'm seeing is that the masculine is very heartbroken at this time, or feeling this tower moment, if you will, right? We already kind of talked about that. It's almost like they don't know how to move forward with it. They don't know how to connect, or they don't know how to... It's like a fear of conflict, especially with the Muse of Swords. I don't understand what the conflict could be about, or if maybe they're just afraid that they will get hurt. Ironically, though, they're hurting worse because they're not pursuing it, right? Oh, divine masculines. They can be the worst and the best. We all know. Two of Swords, they're very guarded, right? They want to protect their heart. They don't want to step on any toes. They don't want to be hurt. It's almost like the feelings are too big, right? It's so big. These feelings are so great that the fear is just overwhelming, right? And it's actually causing them to hurt in advance, if that makes sense. What is the inevitable outcome? The Magician in reverse with the Nine of Pentacles. The Magician is constantly like trying to manifest something, or very focused on their outcome, right? That's the main thing about magicians, is they're all outcome based. And I kind of see this energy of once you let go, once you release, and I know it feels counterintuitive, but you know, it's like, then it's what comes next is this abundance, right? Or something that is more abundant to you than money. Flowers represent abundance. And this is something that's going to be very fulfilling. I see a victory here, right? I see somebody very happy. Now, this is the challenge, the letting go part. And this is where I feel like New World All-Star can really, you can really be more in depth than I can. You know, I'm not a twin flame coach. I've just suffered, right? But what I can tell you about manifesting, because that I do know a lot about, there's a whole process here. And this could be with your twin flame. You can use this manifesting skill for anything. Money, jobs, cars, whatever you need. So basically, you need to write, okay? Get yourself a journal, right? Get yourself a little manifestation journal, right? And, oh, I dropped my spirit board, hold on. And then, once you have your journal, light some candles, right? Some incense, whatever your thing is. However you like to connect. I like using fire. I feel like, especially if you're a fire sign, that would be really helpful, because then you're connecting to your element as well. I like to put on music, right? Music that really makes me feel connected to whatever I'm trying to manifest, right? And so, depending on what you're trying to manifest, in this case, your twin flame, I would recommend something like You and Me by Flume, alright? Something that's really going to inspire it. And then, write it down. Write down, I don't do specifics in regards to names and stuff like that, because it's borderline a love spell, and I don't believe in love spells. Always only ask for what is divinely meant for you, right? And sometimes the universe will send you some karmics first. Sometimes you got to do that first. But trust, you know? And basically, so you write it down in great detail. Like you're writing a memoir, but of your future self, not your past, right? And you write in great detail. So you want this kind of connection, right? Specifically ask for your twin flame, right? That's the best way. And damn, I usually do this with less complex things, right? I try not to manifest based on feelings, but I'm an Aquarius. So the music really helps heighten your emotions. The heightened emotions is where your power core is. When you start feeling your heart chakra open up, and it feels almost like you can feel the electromagnetism kind of radiating from your heart. That's what you want to manifest from. And you want to visualize it, right? You want to visualize what kind of person they are, what kind of relationship you have. How do you feel, right? That's really important. How does this connection make you feel? What kind of communication styles do you have? You know, go in depth, as far in depth as you can. If you have to fill in the entire fucking journal in like 2 days, I don't care. Like, but really manifest, really write it all out. exactly what you want. It's funny, my roommate did it, and dude showed up like a week later, like, um, but yeah, and you want to be very specific and very intentional about it. Then once you're done writing it all out, once you've listened to the music, once you just say, "So mote it be," and then you leave it, right? And this is the trust fall. This is where you let go. Then stop thinking about it. That's the hard part. Don't think about the outcome. Don't think about when it's going to happen. Don't think about how it's going to happen. Don't think about shit. Okay? You've already done the work that you need to do. Now you got to trust the universe to deliver it. The best way to trust, it's like the watch pot never boils, right? So don't be so like hung up on the outcome. Don't be so hung up on getting them. Just throw it out there, what you want, and then release it, right? If you love it, let it go. And be in that energy of letting it go and trusting the universe. And you'll be amazed at how quickly things happen for you. But yeah, that's my best advice in regards to manifesting. So I'm gonna pull oracle cards for you. See what the goddess has to say about all this. And just don't overthink the process. Magic is magic because it's magic. Okay? And it's only like it's kind of like Tinkerbell and Peter Pan. As long as you strongly believe in it, your manifestations will come true. If you have doubts, insecurities, fear, and if you don't feel worthy of what you're trying to manifest, it won't come true. So you have to have that worthiness within you. You have to feel it. Kaliyantra. You have more power to evoke a positive shift in your circumstances than you realize. If anything required for success is lacking, the Divine Mother shall provide it. You are crossing a crucial spiritual threshold. Stay focused and let distractions fall away, and continue to commit yourself to what matters most to your heart. A more beautiful experience awaits you. Also, temptation will show up. That's another thing, right? Temptation will show up. Somebody else might try to interject or intervene. And so in the case of that, if you are faced with, if you're faced with somebody who tries to be temptation, you have to really decide between temptation and your masculine, right? Or feminine. Whether you're male or female doesn't matter. New World All-Star's a man, but he's definitely a divine feminine, And he's he's a dude, I'm not saying he's like a feminine dude. There's a difference between what we view in the world as masculine and feminine and then how we view it in tarot. In tarot, it's like, imagine it in like studies, right? So like the divine masculine would be business, science, maths, things like that. And the divine feminine would be spirituality, literature, art, those things. So it's the creative force, right? And so what I'm seeing here is that, like, if you really want it, make it so, and if it's really the most important thing to you, nothing else is going to work, right? The temptation can come flying in your direction no matter what, but it's easy to avoid temptation when you know deep down in your soul what's actually what you want or what matters. So that's pretty much what I have for you. I hope this was helpful. Namaste. I love you guys, and I'll catch you later.